Okay, y'all, I had to get that air going, part 2. And give me a little TV going. But anyway, y'all, long story short, let me turn this off so I can get my thoughts right. Let me put it on mute. Okay, so anyway, y'all, who the feel the air feels so good. Anyway, y'all, yeah. He goes, anyway, he want to holler at you. What you mean you ain't finna holler at him? I was like, it's what I just said. And he started getting an attitude. And I said, hold up, normalize accepting when females tell y'all no, they don't want to date y'all. And he's not my type. I'm not finna date nobody that's not my type. Well, what's your type? Like, he literally got mad because I didn't want the dude. And the dude feelings literally got hurt because I didn't want him. Like, listen, I'm not trying to be funny, but I want who I want. He didn't come to me for no reason, right? So anyway, we're going to pray on that situation. But he just got real rude for his friend. His friend wasn't even rude, y'all. His friend was just laid back, like, oh, okay. Like, he came out the bathroom and was like, oh, my bad. I was in there debating on whether I was going to take a number 2, but I didn't do the number 2. I'm like, that's too much information. I didn't need to know that. So anyway, y'all, it was weird. The friend was still going off mad. So we went in, we had to do a stop because there was a white guy that had been talking to me the whole time. And like, normally I don't have nobody talking to me, but for some reason, this white guy had a couple of crippleness, little illnesses he was going through. And he was saying he found Jesus and, you know, he was a Trump hater, didn't really like Trump. But he was like, he's trying to find out how to love Trump and this, that, and the other. But anyway, he was talking to me, and the guy in front of him that was white also was talking to me. And the guy in front of him, we found out that we both have CDLs. Like, he's a class A, I'm class B. So we was just kind of talking, right? I normally don't do that, but I just went on and held a conversation because you never know where somebody's mind is. And I don't want anybody to think I'm racist or whatever. I'm not racist. I don't talk to men normally because you never know what's on men's minds. But they were clean cut, thank God. So when the guy did me, our own kind, the black guy did me like that, he was like, I'm so sorry, ma'am. But it turned out he knew him some type of way because he would go in the back of the bus at nighttime like he was having some type of meeting with them. Now, the one that they actually tried to hook me up with, he actually got off on that next stop that day. But the other one who was going off for him was still on the bus. He stayed on the bus until the day I got to Los Angeles, but he left that morning going to Phoenix, which was the stop before San Bernardino, and then the next stop was Los Angeles. But anyway, yeah, it was so weird. And I know I'm taking up a lot of y'all time, but I had to tell y'all about this story. It was so crazy. But he got so upset. So when we went in the gas station, because the white guy stood up pretty much in the middle of the bus ride. He just stood up. And he would not sit down until the bus driver was like, oh, okay, I got you. And so he pulled over. And I was going to stay on, but I got off. Some said, just go in. Because you never know what's on somebody's mind. You want to let people know that you were on a bus. Okay? You want people to see that it wasn't just them. And, you know, it's always your word against them. It's okay to be seen. At first, I was like, nah, I'm just going to stay on the bus the whole time because I already got my food. I don't need to buy nothing. But I wanted some ice cream. So I went in there and got some ice cream. Why did he still bother me in there? Man, you trying to get rude with me and I'm trying to tell you my homeboy. I said, hold up. You still talking about that? That's squashed. That's over with. I don't want your homeboy. He got off on the last ride, the last stop anyway. I said, he's not my type and you can't make him be my type. No, he actually was still there. Nope, I take that back. Sorry, he hadn't got off yet. The homeboy hadn't got off the ride yet. He was still, both of them was still out there outside after I came off from paying stuff. But even when I was trying to pay for stuff, the friend was still hassling me and harassing me about why I didn't want to talk to him. So y'all, if you're going to go on the bus, be careful. Take somebody with you. I won't say that the whole ride was bad. It's just certain people that are just not right. Right? And me being a female by myself, you plead the blood of Jesus over yourself and you go and you make sure you stay solidified and prayerful and around people who are clean, you know what I'm saying? People who don't have that type of vibe that something ain't right. So anyway, he bumps me in the gas station. I bumped him back and I'm like, don't touch me. Oh, but your hair, a piece of my hair was on my eyelash. Let me get your hair off your eyelash. Let me just get, I said, no, do not touch me. Like, don't touch me. He still, nah, let me. I'm like, how aggravating is this for our own kind to do us like this? Had that been a white woman, he would not have hassled her. Why are you hassling me because I did not want your friend after I told you who I was talking to? Like, why would you do me like that? So anyway, long story short, after I come out of there paying for my ice cream, and you know other people, let me tell y'all what I hate. when other people feel the vibe that you've gone through or seeing what you've gone through, and there are people who will be on your side and understand where you're coming from, but there also be people who are not on your side and they want to try to make the matters worse. So I get to the cashier. Oh, hold on. I don't think it'll even take that type of chip in your card. This one doesn't take it. It normally takes forever. She sticks the chip in. No, I stick the chip in. And she's like, I'll do it. So she takes the card out my hand. She sticks the chip in. It's like, yeah, this is going to take for a long time. It went right through. It was approved right off. Oh, and I'm looking at her like, girl, give me my card. Stop playing. Why y'all being rude? Why are y'all being rude to me? You don't even know what happened, but you could tell that was a vibe. And so you, instead of saying, leave her alone, she's a female by herself, you're intertwining with it. I hate those type of women. There was another white woman. Well, you do have something on your lash. I said, ma'am, I know. And I'm going to take it off myself. I said, why are we stirring the pot for him? He was in the wrong, not me. Y'all weren't even in this. Y'all weren't even on the bus. Y'all don't even know. They were two people that were, I guess, were from that area. But other women knew what had happened. The people that were on the bus knew what happened. So they were understanding. So I thank them for that. But y'all, I watched my back that night because I don't trust people. I did not go to sleep. I spot slept. Like if I dozed off, I immediately jumped back up, right? So it was just real weird, y'all. Last night was weird. But I thank God that I made it to Los Angeles, which was my dream. Very safe. Everybody after that little moment was cool. There was a guy that earlier today, before we got to Los Angeles, when we were in, I think, San Bernardino, he just started going crazy. The stop before that, I told him, I said, your hair is pretty, because y'all know I have braids, little single braids, and his looked like single braids, but I think they're dreaded. And they were just all one side, one length. They were very nice. There was a part down the middle. He was a thin guy, but a handsome guy. You could tell he was masculine. He wasn't, you know what I'm saying, unmasculine or anything. Not that anything's wrong with that, but he was masculine. So I tell him, I said, your hair is pretty. He was getting off the bus to go to a stop. And he was like, thank you so much. Thank you so much. The next stop, everybody gets off. I let everybody get off, and then I finally get off. But I stay at the door. I just wanted to stretch my legs. So I bend over. My butt was to the door. Nobody was behind me. While they were standing around smoking cigarettes and going to go use the bathroom, I bend over and I was trying to stretch my legs. And I go back on the bus. And I go sit down next to, for some reason, after we had all that turmoil yesterday, God placed a nice little young guy with me that rode with me from El Paso all the way to Los Angeles. Like, after that, I never was by myself. Like, he was real cool, you know. He didn't speak English, but I think he kind of knew to his sense. Like, he would type it up for me to answer. So it was translated that way. So anyway, he didn't leave me by myself. That was like confirmation with God that I'm not going to leave you. And then I was texting my family off and on. I was texting my man off and on. And they were checking on me, and so I was thankful for that. So, like I said, y'all, guard my family with y'all life. This in Alabama, Mobile. Guard my family. Guard Andy Appleseed. They be on YouTube. Guard him with y'all life. Because that man had my back yesterday on YouTube. Him and my cousin that stays here in Los Angeles. Like, she couldn't have texted me at a better time saying, cousin, you all right? Because we had got off the bus, and it was looking like dead city, like something ain't finna go right. Somebody about to come up missing type crap. And it probably wasn't that, but my intuition was just in overdrive. And when those three guys that I was like, look like Klansmen, or they look like someone, right? They had evil in their eyes. One of them was tatted to the T. The other one looked like he was the head of them. Like, the one that was being super sweet to me started looking like he could be a top dog of the Klansmen. And I was just like, what is going on? So I would say I probably won't go by myself again, but it was a blessing to be with people that had my back also. Like, I go live and it was some chicks around me, and like, I try to stay cool with everybody, chicks and guys, but I don't know if y'all heard when I first started, some girls walked past and one of them was like, something she said. But once everything started rolling and things started going smoother, she comes and try to stand next to me. Y'all, my whole demeanor was like, please move. Because a few minutes ago, you thought I was a creep, I guess. Or you thought I was just like, not your typical homegirl. So with all due respect, please move. But anyway, no harm to feelings. But she was also hanging with the guy that had went off on me about his homeboy. So it could have been some type of, I don't know what they had going on, but I just did not feel comfortable with them. So I watched my back the whole night. I did not fall asleep. God would not let me fall asleep because folks just kept, every time I would think I was up, but I ended up falling asleep, somebody would cough real hard. And I think because it was our air was on. Baby, when I tell you I was staying up, and I kept telling my boyfriend, I was like, yeah, I was like, babe, something ain't right. I can't stay up. My eyes heavy. I had drunk so many Red Bulls. But anyway, he was like, it's gonna be all right, babe. Calm down. Everything's gonna be all right. So anyway, y'all, this gonna go in my vlog. I just want to let y'all know I made it here, and I'm finna go live and let y'all know also. All right, bye. Thank y'all so much, everybody. Thank you, Los Angeles. Thank you to this beautiful hotel. And I'll talk to y'all later. Bye. If you want to know what hotel I stayed at, ask me. I might put it in the comments. But I can't tell everybody, so everybody be trying to take my hotel over. And folks, you know, it might not be everybody's cup of tea. But I'm trying to tell y'all if I feel like it. All right. Thank y'all. Thank you to all the bus drivers. Thank you to my family. I got to go back home. I don't want no bad energy, no bad blood on nobody. Let's keep it on the up and up. God is with me. God is my protection. Yeah. Bye.